Hello, and welcome to The Future is Now with Embedded Analytics for Healthcare. Today's webinar is sponsored by Qlik and produced by Actual Tech Media. My name is Scott Becker. I'm from Actual Tech Media, and I'm excited to be your moderator for this great event. Now, over the next 40 minutes or so, we're going to be talking about how to transform the way your healthcare organization operates. And we'll see and hear how Qlik Cloud can empower your customers with augmented intelligence and easy-to-use machine learning tools to improve decision-making capabilities in real time. Now, before we get to this content, we do have a few housekeeping items that will help you get the most out of this session. First off, we want this to be an informative event for you, so we encourage any questions in the questions box in our webinar control panel. Not only will we have team members responding to questions during the live event, we'll also have a dedicated Q&A session at the end of the presentation where we'll discuss in greater detail some of the top questions that you ask. The Q&A panel is also the place to let us know about any technical issues that you might be experiencing. A browser refresh will fix most audio, video, or slide advancement issues, but if that doesn't work, just let us know there in the Q&A and we'll provide further technical assistance. Now, second, in the handout section of your webinar control panel, you'll find that we're offering several resources, and I'd especially like to call your attention to 3 PDFs and 2 other links. So the PDFs are a Qlik Healthcare Overview, a Qlik Storytelling and Demo Snapshot, and 15 stories of embedded analytics with several healthcare customer stories. The links are a press release about the Qlik Cloud and one about SaaS in 60 on Qlik Cloud and HIPAA compliancy. So I encourage you to access all of those resources now and share them with your friends and your colleagues. Now, third, at the end of this webinar event, we'll be awarding a $250 Amazon gift card to one lucky registrant. Of course, you must be in attendance during the live event to qualify for the prize. The official terms and conditions of today's prize drawing can be found in the handout section as well. Just scroll to the bottom there and you'll find the prize T's and C's link there. Now, finally, one of the best benefits of this event is the opportunity to ask a question of our expert presenters, and to encourage your questions, we have a special additional prize for you. That's another Amazon gift card, this one for $50 for the best question. So at the end of the event, after it's over, we'll look at all the questions that came in, pick out the very best one, and contact that prize winner. So with that, let's get to today's fantastic content. It is my pleasure to introduce you to our presenters today from Qlik. We have Charlie Farah and Jeff Koch. Charlie is Senior Director in Solutions and Value Engineering. He's been with Qlik for 7 years, and he came to the company after about 15 years working in IT in health districts and hospitals. So he's going to give us the industry background and the solution overview. And then we'll hear from Jeff, who is Principal Analytics Platform Architect at Qlik. And Jeff has been involved with product management and engineering development, but he's been with Qlik for 15 years and is part of a lengthy career in IT. Before that, he also spent 2 years with a healthcare claims processing company. So we're talking between these guys about almost 3 decades of healthcare-specific knowledge and a few more decades of general IT knowledge thrown in there as well. So that's sort of a long-winded way of saying we're in great hands for this session about embedded analytics in healthcare. And this is a great opportunity to get your questions answered by some real experts with deep knowledge. So with that, I'm going to turn things over to Charlie to get us started.
Thanks, Scott. Appreciate the warm introduction. And welcome, everybody. We're excited to share how Qlik can support operational excellence in healthcare with our embedded analytics solutions. Firstly, I'll cover off a bit about Qlik and how we can support you with your data analytics endeavors. Then I'll hand over to my brilliant colleague Jeff, who'll take you through a live demonstration showcasing the true power of Qlik Cloud for healthcare. But before I get started, I thought I'd quickly cover off some information about Qlik for those of you who are unfamiliar. We were founded 30 years ago in Lund, Sweden, but are now headquartered in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania, USA. We support over 38,000 active customers and work with 1,700 plus partners across more than 100 countries. And quite proudly, we have been an industry leader in the Gartner Magic Quadrant for 12 years in a row, the only vendor to achieve such a feat. I'm also proud to say that healthcare is one of our largest customer bases too. Over 3,000 healthcare organizations, including payers, providers, ISVs, and governments around the globe, all use Qlik to analyze, optimize, and drive change through the combination and integration of hundreds of different clinical, financial, and operational systems. This slide here represents just a small sampling of our global customer base. Similarly, we've had a long and successful history with tech partners and OEM players in the healthcare sector, with a few of those partnerships listed here. One thing they all have in common is a belief in data and the impact it can have on patient lives and business value. And here is just a quick screenshot of some examples of OEM in healthcare from our partners. So why Qlik and how can we help? Well, principally, it's over these 5 key areas. 1, we're able to boost your competitive advantage in the market immediately with a proven leader. We're able to accelerate time to market with innovative cloud offerings spanning both data analytics and data integration. Secondly, we give your developers flexibility to build and embed any element of the platform independent of the Qlik experience, customizing with endless possibilities. Third, we enable your products team to build compelling revenue-generating products for new markets and also support your distinct monetization strategies. Fourth, and really importantly, we give you the ability to embed at scale with security and performance. And lastly, we empower your customers with augmented intelligence and a range of other capabilities like alerts, cloud reporting, auto machine learning, all within your application, which improve, accelerate, and expand insights and decision-making in the business moment. And what does Qlik do for your customers in these instances? Well, firstly, we're able to accelerate agile decision-making for your customers with analytics in the workflow of their application or data service right where they work every day. We're able to provide powerful, relevant, and seamless analysis and visualizations quickly at the point of decision, which is critical in today's market. And lastly, we're able to drive adoption and engagement, which means higher satisfaction ratings from your customers translating to higher retention rates and less churn. A huge milestone for us is that we can now securely extend the power of Qlik Cloud's full range of data integration, rich data analytics pipeline, predictive analytics, and AI insights to US healthcare organizations while supporting their HIPAA compliance efforts and the ability to use PHI data in Qlik Cloud. Qlik's compliance to the framework is tested via rigorous examination by an independent accounting firm to the HITRUST CSF criteria. Again, giving you trust and confidence in Qlik being the right partner for you. So why is embedded analytics so important? Research suggests that users are 15 times more likely to use data analytics when it is embedded as part of your normal workflow. So with Qlik's open APIs and our powerful indexing engine, Qlik is primed to maximize this for your healthcare organization and across all your healthcare solutions. Because ultimately, data is only as valuable as your ability to act on it. Qlik Cloud helps you turn those zeros and ones of data to transform them from a liability into an asset. And why this matters, particularly in healthcare, it's because we have such a diverse audience and user base. Doctors, health professionals, and administrators, all using the technology, not just the data scientists and the analysts. We all know historically that custom reporting is a pain. So what Qlik does is bring all your data in the one spot to give you that single source of truth, with a simplified and intuitive user experience to allow them to get faster time to answers. The ability to search like Google across all the data allows you to answer the next question without having to go back to IT to ask for a new report. And lastly, we're able to give you that whole 360-degree view of your data, of whatever data that may be, whether it be patient, claims, service, or operations, ultimately allowing you to see the whole story that lives within your data. Now, in the interest of time, I won't cover these customer stories now, but rather provide you with a deck post-webinar to read through these in your own time. We've handpicked some great use cases for you to demonstrate the capability of the Qlik platform can deliver for you. One is around Blue Health Intelligence, who use Qlik for embedded analytics across their Wise Analytics solution, which is the state-of-the-art employer analytics and reporting solution. Health Catalyst, which obviously I'm sure most would know, it's a big brand with their closed-loop analytics services, has 3 primary mechanisms for improving workflows and decision, which increases provider administrative efficiency, integrating data analytics directly into application workflows, and real-time data solution integration, which improves effectiveness, accuracy, and speed of decision-making. Modernizing Medicine is the data analytics platform used within the EMA, the EHR solution, which provides reports in 3 categories: administrative, financial, and provider. And lastly, IQVIA, who has used this BI tool selected needs to provide robust foundation for ad hoc analysis and predictive modeling across their platform. But as I said, you can read up on these case studies more when you download the deck post-webinar. So, and for now, the most exciting part of the webinar, I'd like to introduce you to my colleague and tech guru, Jeff Koch, Principal Analytics Platform Architect, OEM, who'll spend the next 20 minutes or so showcasing the power of the Qlik platform. Over to you, Jeff.
Thank you, Charlie. My name is Jeff Koch. I'm going to be giving you a brief introduction to Qlik Cloud, and a demonstration highlighting how Qlik Sense can help you enhance your solutions to deliver value to your customers. Qlik has a long history of providing healthcare with a rich and powerful analytics platform using the strength of Qlik's associative technology. And we're excited about the future and our continued partner with the healthcare industry by enabling healthcare solution providers to take advantage of the transformative opportunities of a cloud-based embedded analytics platform. The great news for so many healthcare organizations is that Qlik has done the heavy lifting, providing a HIPAA-compliant framework with SOC 1, 2, 3, and specifically SOC 2 Type 2 and HITRUST certifications. So you can leverage the value of Qlik Cloud to deliver superior solutions and services to your customers while lowering your cost of ownership and elevating your competitive advantage. The Qlik Sense Analytic Cloud platform further enhances your competitive advantages with powerful, easy-to-use capabilities to deliver modern data analytics, machine learning, predictive analytics with a friendly, easy-to-use end-user experience that's embeddable. In fact, I'm taking advantage of one of those features, Qlik Storytelling. This presentation was made inside the analytic dashboard. Not only can I add snapshots of charts and graphs, I can embed live dashboards directly into my presentation. So let's take a look at how Qlik Sense can help you deliver the art of the possible with leading-edge analytic solutions to your customers. So I'd like to start by introducing you to one of the foundations of Qlik's technology, and that's the associative engine. It's the associative engine that actually delivers the value of the power of discovery. Traditional analytic technologies do a decent job of answering questions that you know you need to ask. But what is so exciting about Qlik is its ability to answer questions you never knew you needed to ask. So how is that possible? What makes it possible is that Qlik does not have to reduce the data volume by pre-calculating answers for known questions to maintain acceptable performance. It's through the power of the associative engine that Qlik can handle huge volumes of data at full granularity and perform those calculations in real time across the full data model. In fact, that happens every time I click. So when I come in and I make a selection, and I'm going to select just a couple of hospitals up here, Qlik instantly calculates all of the associations across the data model. We see that reflected in a visualization that just picks what we call the green, white, and gray. Green means I've selected something. White is anything that's related or associated with that selection. And then gray is anything that does not exist as a part of that selection. So immediately I know what is green and white, and I know what isn't. So I know what's driving all of my charts and graphs. I know, for example, with this selection of hospitals, that from an admit source, they've never had any HMO physician referrals, and they've never had any transfers from rural hospitals. And I know that instantly. So there's a lot that I learned from what's in the gray as well as what's in the green, the white, and the charts. Now I can continue to make selections, and if I stay inside the white, I'm really doing what most people think of as a drill down. So as I make those selections, I start to narrow down and drill further into the data and get a closer, detailed view of it. When I want to move to a different dashboard and see a different view or perspective on my data, it's very easy to navigate to other dashboards or sheets within the Qlik application. So even though I'm currently in the story, if I want to get out of the storyboard, I can just simply go to the sheet and it will take me directly into the application itself. From here, I have access to all the other dashboard sheets that are within the application, and I can continue to do my analysis. I can navigate to other sheets by clicking the forward and backward arrows. I can navigate it by going to the sheet drop-down box, or I can simply embed a button on the page and click that button to move to the next page. What I love about Qlik is when I move from dashboard to dashboard, my selections follow me, and every chart, every table, graph reflect those filters and those active set of rows in the data model. It gives me a total view of the healthcare data from any number of contexts, so I can quickly gain insights and easily explore the data. So how does Qlik help me explore data and discover insights? Well, let's start with a clean slate, and I'll relate a real-world story. So I'm going to clear all of my selections. So I was working with a healthcare organization a couple of years ago. We were talking about COVID and the warnings about the upcoming flu season. So we decided we would see how many hospitalized cases of influenza we had in the past year. So we started off by focusing on a couple of layers in our map, the diagnosis layer and the hospital layer. And what we see is a heat map of inpatient claims and we're not surprised to see that the hotspots were in Dallas, Fort Worth, and in Houston, with secondary hotspots in the San Antonio and the Austin area. Next, we search for influenza in the disease category dropdown. With Qlik, you can leverage a search engine to search for things within the data, and there's our data, so we'll hit enter to select it. We made the selection, and we were stunned to see this hot spot down in the tip of Texas when we fully were expecting to see those same hot spots for Dallas, Fort Worth, and Houston. There were almost 4,100 cases of influenza that were hospitalized, and if we come down and we select, so we'll go ahead and grab a lasso, and we'll select those hospitals down in the southern tip, we saw that they had 977, so almost 24% of all of the cases in the state of Texas were in the tip of Texas, where there's only 3.8% of the total patient population. So it really begged the question, why? What drove this? Was it population demographics, or about other diseases? With Qlik, we can start asking those questions that we never knew we needed to ask, and use Qlik to help us find correlations and answers. Where are the patients coming from? Do those patient demographics have any insights that we can gain? So let's adjust our view by turning off the diagnostic layer and turning on the patient zip code so we can see where those patients are from. We can see that there's actually a couple of patient locations, one in San Antonio, and we have one patient in Houston. So there's a couple of patients that were from outside the area, but this is where they were hospitalized. So looking at the age group and race distribution helps us see the number of cases for each age group and the number of cases for each racial and ethnicity group. If I select white, we can see how the other charts respond to that. If I want to take a look at the ethnicity, I can look at Hispanic and see that most of the cases are white Hispanics. So looking at the number of claims by age group, we can see that the first three age groups have a real prominent. They're all children 9 years or less in age. So at this point, it's clear that I need to make my health director aware of the discovery. And that's something we can easily do by just sending him a report. Now, we can easily take action by sending that on-demand email to him. And we did this with an action button directly in the dashboard. In fact, there are several ways and several methods for staying informed of developments against key analytical measures, and do that automatically, including alerts. We can set up alerts and schedule them. We have on-demand reports, just standard scheduled reports, collaborative notes. We can post messages to Teams or to Slack, and several other methods for keeping people informed. So let's bring up my email, and I have mail. So there are a couple of things that I would still like to cover, and one is to look at the breadth of visualizations, plus address the need for embedding and white label. It's crucial to have strong embedding and integration capability, and Qlik rises to the challenge with a robust set of proven, documented, and supported APIs for embedding individual objects using div tags or embedding full dashboards using iframes. Most of our OEM partners start with iframes. Well, ease of implementation is one reason, and the second is fast time to market. And as they grow, they'll start to implement a div tag if it's appropriate. Building an iframe in Qlik is a breeze. We can right-click on the dashboard level model. There's actually a link here called Embed Sheet. So you click on it, it opens up a wizard, and it gives you a number of options that you can do for allowing interaction, enabling content menus, selections, picking a default language for the UI. We support multiple language, which helps with internationalization. And one of the things we can pick is a theme. What I want to do is change the theme to my company theme. Themes are a way to control color schemes, fonts, other attributes, both globally and on a per chart basis. So you can easily tune that dashboard to your solution's look and feel. In my case, the company theme is called Sense Breeze. It automatically applies the new color schemes, and you can clearly see that now my bars are yellow instead of red. And it's an easy way to be able to help that integration along and give it that corporate look and feel. You can copy it. You can even come in and preview what that looks like with your theme applied and what your embedded analytic is going to look like. So I created a simple dashboard. It's just a basic banner, a logo. There's some control buttons hiding over here in the corner so I can navigate. And then the sheet that we were just seeing. This is an embedding application that's been done using an iframe. And we can go ahead here and kind of start at the beginning. Qlik offers a wide range of visualizations out of the box. There are visualizations to support analysis and insights for all areas, including KPIs, charts, ranking, trend analysis, k-means clustering. Whether you select items from the map or other visualization, everything stays linked together and everything is fully associated the whole time. In addition, there are sand key charts that help show flows through the application, and you can make selections within these sand key charts. Move forwards and backwards through the hospitals. If you want to make a selection on a particular hospital, then you can drill into those sand key charts. Qlik also includes traits tables, pivot tables, grid charts so that you can see correlations and easily see those kinds of things pop out. If you want to clear all your selections, you'll get a full grid of that. As I make selections, note the consistent use of color throughout the intelligent mapping colors to dimensions. So as I come in and make selections in General Hospital or Springfield, I can immediately and intuitively associate and link the trend lines with the breakout chart. Qlik's intelligent visualizations make the most of real estate to maintain readability and usability. As I zoom in, labels will dynamically appear when real estate's available so that I can see detail without the visualization being cluttered up. Also note that you see dots starting to show up and pile up around the edges. It's just an indicator to let me know that there's data that's off chart that I should be aware of. At any point in time, I can click the home icon and zoom back out to see the whole thing. Intelligence with the chart gives you the opportunity to easily show and hide charts or not let them calculate and display information until certain conditions have been met. This gives you the opportunity to have very guided and step-by-step experiences for your end users, or you can still have that full free-form exploration that we've seen to date. So I'm being told select a single patient, so I'll come in here and I'll select a single patient. And as soon as I do that, all those charts come to life showing me the detail. And this brings us back to where we started. I have one more thing I'd like to show you, and that's Qlik's ability to have very specialized visualizations designed for highly specialized solutions. So let's take a look at a div tag based dashboard with a very specialized visualization, and that's the body map. So Qlik's Art of the Possible enables your analytics with advanced and focused visualizations for unprecedented analytic insights. Like all the other visualizations we've seen, the human body updates as we make selections, whether they're from the charts or even making selections on the human body itself. And we have the opportunity to have that full interaction between those kinds of visualizations and all the other charts around them. In this case, the colorization is reflecting a number of scans that have been performed on each part of the body, but they could just as easily be associated with procedures, accidents, scan types, or anything else that you deem appropriate. As you've seen, Qlik Cloud is a pivotal opportunity for bringing secured, cloud-based delivery of modern business intelligence, actionable analytics, fully integrated machine learning, predictive analytics, and excellent embedding capabilities in a customizable platform that can be transformational and positions your health organization for the future. Thank you so much for your time and attention. Scott, back to you.
All right, really interesting setup there, Charlie, and nice demo, Jeff. Really like that. And now that we've been through the presentations, I do want to quickly explain the handouts again. The first PDF, which was the Qlik Healthcare Overview, that's Charlie's deck. And the second PDF called Qlik Storytelling and Demo Snapshot are some of the screen grabs that Jeff captured from his demo. So if you want to have those as takeaways, I highly recommend those two there. Okay, but Charlie and Jeff, are you guys ready for some questions?
Yep, good to go over here.
All right, excellent. Charlie, I think this first one is probably for you. They're asking, COVID-19 has seen healthcare organizations pivot faster than ever. How have the data needs changed for healthcare providers in America?
Yeah, thanks, Scott. I think principally it's around the speed of which we can access the data. No longer can we rely on data that reflected or updated on a daily basis or a weekly basis. The more real-time nature of the data that we can stream or activate our pipeline to get access to that information so we can analyze and make more real-time decisions at the point of care was significantly critical. So I think that's the biggest pivot I've seen. I think with healthcare organisations understanding and appreciating the impact of real-time data allows to their decision making and ultimately their patient care. And secondly to that is the access of external or different data sets as well. So being able to combine multiple disparate data sets to see the bigger picture in what might be impacting service utilization or type of care or service volume was critical. So having a system that was able to combine multiple disparate data sets together to give that common view, as well as stream real-time data, were really important for healthcare during particularly after the COVID pandemic, as we continue to move through and respond to that as well.
All right. Yeah, excellent. And I guess sort of a related question here. That's kind of like looking back and up to now. Where do you think healthcare analytics is headed in the next 12 months or so?
I think we saw a bit of that in Jeff's demonstration. We're looking to see how we can further advance the artificial or augmented intelligence approach, which is what Qlik offers. Combining the power of the machine with the collective human intelligence of an organization to make the best decision. Having some AI models and alerting capabilities, things that are driving decision at the point of care when people need it. So rather than looking rear view mirror all the time and looking at things that snapshot of time of what happened, looking more forward around what is likely to happen and how we can respond to that. And I think that's the most exciting part over the next 12 months for healthcare in America.
Okay. All right. Super. Jeff, this next one looks like it'd be for you. Does Qlik support single sign-on so I can embed analytics into my customer-facing portal?
Yeah, Qlik does support single sign-on. And we have, more than one method for being able to support that. The most common and most effective right now is taking advantage of IDP, so independent identity provider.
Gotcha. Okay. Charlie, another one for you here. Does data literacy play a part in adopting a data solution?
Absolutely, Scott. I think not everyone in an organization or that's leveraging healthcare information is a data scientist or a super user of data. So having a program across the organization, whether it's internal or external, to support people understanding the information that's presented to them is important. But there are ways that we could do that. We're not suggesting that everyone undertakes a data literacy course or enablement session that way. It's around building some data literacy capabilities into your applications with some narrative around the charts, some information buttons to allow people to better comprehend what is being presented to them. And I think with making sure that you select the right visualizations as well to articulate the message that you're trying to position from the analysis is critical. But the idea is just to make people who are unfamiliar with data or unfamiliar with dashboarding or leveraging analytic solutions comfortable enough that they're going to be able to leverage the information that's presented to them to drive change across their business or across their service operations. So rather than being overwhelmed by all the pretty pictures and the various graphs and data available, giving them some basic understanding so they're able to read and interpret and understand and leverage the information to them with some soft level skills that way.
Nice. Okay, super. Charlie, I think this next one from the audience is probably for you. Then I've got a couple for Jeff. But Lynn, it sounds like maybe Lynn is working for an MSP. Lynn is saying, we have some customers in this domain and wondering what's your suggestion or what are your suggestions for best practices of ensuring data security and privacy and compliance with healthcare regulations such as HIPAA? Do we need to implement robust security measures such as encryption, access control, and data governance? So I guess it's getting started there. Any advice?
I might also ask Jeff to also contribute to this question as well. But Qlik allows this allows customers to meet their requirements here around data security and privacy in compliance with HIPAA. So we're able to bring your own key devices. We have HITRUST certification. So anything that you're able to deliver through anything that you want to push through the Qlik platform allows you to comply to those GDPR standards. So we have our own crack team of security experts that continue to develop and refine our security paradigms, if you like, in our product to continue to meet these requirements, both from a healthcare perspective and a general data protection regulation perspective as well. But Jeff, I'm not sure if you want to comment any specifically around any of the technical bits there as well.
Yeah, I can add a couple things. Maybe it's HIPAA compliance it's a law. It's not a set of standards that you actually get certified against, but you have to implement standards and certifications in order to come into compliance. I know part of the question I think was around encryption, and Qlik has solved that by allowing customers to bring their own encryption keys. So you can take every one of your clients and you can either encrypt everybody with the same encryption key within your tenant environments, or you can encrypt every individual tenant that's one of your customers with their own set of encryption keys. That's a part of it. GDPR, on the other hand, is really, we see that more in Europe, and it's really a set of principles and requirements around lawfulness and fairness. They have to be transparent with the data. It has to be limited and minimized. The data that they have on people or individuals needs to be accurate. There's principles and laws around storage limitations and security. is around, as well as accountability. And the individuals have a right to be informed. So you can actually ask the company, what do you have on me? And they have to show you everything they've got about you, and you have the right to say delete it. So that's really what GDPR is about.
Okay. All right, great. Yeah, thanks to both of you for the answers on that one. Appreciate it. This next one, Jeff, I think this is probably for you. This is from Brendan, who's asking, what sort of access control to data does Qlik provide? Is it pretty granular where we can reduce data to the appropriate scope?
The data scope in Qlik is really strong. And there's kind of different levels. First, you have to have access to the tenant. And so when you get logged into the tenant, that's step one. We organize and give you the opportunity to create what we call spaces. You can think of spaces like a folder. And then you can add people to those folders for security. And then you have your analytic apps and the data within those folders. So that helps you put another level of security on it. Once you actually open up an analytic, data can be dynamically reduced based on user ID, on user roles, or user groups. So you can take something like, we're looking at the state of Texas, but if I'm only a part of, say, the Baylor hospital system, row level security would only let me see hospital cases for Baylor. So you have excellent ability to scope and limit what people can see and who's allowed to see what.
Okay. All right. Super. Thanks for that question, Brendan. We have questions from both Amy and Dane about EMR. Amy says, great presentation, but she says one of the slides showed the ability to link a patient's chart. Does that work for any EMR, and how do we do that? And then I'll just throw in Dane's question at the same time. Is there been any work with any of the EMR vendors to allow certain aspects of the Qlik platform to sit directly within the EMR? So maybe, Jeff, I'll kick it over to you just to talk about sort of the EMR approach that you guys have.
Okay, yeah, they're similar. What's really nice about Qlik is that it's a platform, and it handles data really well, whether it's healthcare data or somebody else's. And when you're in the healthcare space, the kind of data you handle as an Epic type of company, or if you're a claims processing company, or if you're a clearinghouse, they're quite different. And what's good about Qlik is that when you want to do something with the embedding, the APIs allow you to actually take a solution, like a practice management solution, and their electronic medical records, and you can embed Qlik into it if their APIs allow it. Qlik's APIs do. And if you are in an EMR type system and you click on Jeff Koch, then you can pass that selection into the Qlik application with the APIs, and all the analytics will reflect Jeff Koch. And so I can see Jeff Koch history, his payment histories, the kinds of diagnostics that he's had, what are the range procedures that he's had, and vice versa. You can click and then use the APIs to make that selection back into your, into your base solution, whether it's a medical practice solution, or in a payer or a clearinghouse that's looking at claims that might have been associated with that selection. So I hope that helps answer your question.
Okay, excellent. We've got a question here from Brandon who says, can you talk more about the security and privacy considerations that come with embedded analytics in healthcare, and how Qlik addresses these concerns?
That's a great question. What's nice and maybe different about Qlik is that when we actually build, the analytic, and we bring the data into the Qlik application, we bring along that row level security and the security about that particular individual, so that when they're looking at that data, it follows them, whether it's in the native UI app or whether it's in an embedded experience. The embedding is always looking back, and all the charts and all the graphs are always looking at the data model and reflecting, the selection state of the data model. And the data model only allows selections against the data that I have an authorization to see within that application at the row level. Everything, if we could take it up kind of a higher level, everything that's going between, that embedded experience in your customer portal and in, the Qlik analytic in the Qlik Cloud where the calculations are being done, all of that's being transmitted over, secure channels. So it's all going over HTTPS. The data sitting in Qlik, when it's in Qlik, is secured. All the data movement from Qlik between, your systems and the Qlik Cloud, those are all secured. And then those all sit on top of the standards that we've implemented, the SOC1, SOC2, SOC3 type standards, HITRUST. And I guess to learn more and go into some detail, I would encourage you to visit qlik.com/trust. And a lot of them have links where you can learn more and read the report. And I'd encourage you to visit qlik.com/trust and click on those links to see what sits underneath the certification.
All right, super. Qlik.com/trust. Charlie, what's one piece of practical advice you'd give to an organization just starting out on their data and analytics journey?
I think the best piece of advice I ever received when I was on the healthcare side was just to start. I think so many times organizations make or try to get all their ducks in line before they can hit the go button. So they'll spend, often weeks and months preparing and developing a solution before it's all perfect before launching. Where I think with Qlik, the beauty of the technology allows you to get incremental value along the way. It's agile and scalable as your data matures, as the organization matures. So you can build solutions and add to solutions that they remain live. So I think from that end, it's just to get started. Start with what you have, build up a platform and a community of users, and then continue to grow from there. So I think it is, don't wait for perfect and just get started.
I like that. Yeah, that's great. Jeff, we've got a question here from Warren, who's asking, HIPAA also affects some of our projects at our university. Do you think management of data governance will be treated like a business at the education level?
I guess kind of a clarification that I would have is treat it like a business. Do you mean that the university will be treated like a business in terms of how HIPAA is going to hold them to compliance, or should we treat it like a business in how we handle and implement data governance in that environment? And if I kind of try to answer both of them, HIPAA and HIPAA violations are HIPAA violations, and you don't want to do HIPAA violations because they're a very expensive proposition. And so by that kind of a standard on yourself, you want to treat it like a business. It's a serious thing. You want to make sure, regardless if you're at an education level or if you're in a professional world, if you're dealing with private health information, you want to be able to secure that so you can avoid those HIPAA violations. So I say, yeah, you definitely want to treat it at at a business level, regardless of it being education or lab work, clinical work, or in a public health organization.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, it looks like we're running out of time here. But just Charlie, if somebody wants to get started with Qlik or find out more, and anything you'd recommend?
No, I think we've got a ton of resources as well on the qlik.com/healthcare website. I think for us, healthcare, Qlik is ready to really enable healthcare organizations, and we really want to encourage those organizations to know that, you guys are ready too. Don't feel that you're not. We often, when I used to be a customer of Qlik, one of the best things that I was ever told from Qlik is that it's a partnership. It's not just a software sale, it's a partnership with these organizations. So we really do value that message. We want to partner with you guys on enabling and helping you through these data analytics challenges. And we really want to, work side by side with you guys to enable you to achieve your successes. So yeah, please do reach out and let us help you along that journey.
All right, excellent. Well, Charlie and Jeff, thank you both for putting together really informative presentations today, and for all your insights in the Q&A. You guys have been really generous with your time today, and we appreciate all your time and your insights. Thanks so much.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you.
All right, and we appreciate everybody being on the call with us today too. And before we wrap up, we have one more piece of business, which is the Amazon gift card prize drawing. And the winner of that $250 Amazon gift card is Jovan Francis from Georgia. So congratulations to Jovan. We'll be in touch to get you your card. And with that, on behalf of the Actual Tech Media team, I want to thank Qlik for making this event possible. And thanks as always for attending and for all your great questions. That concludes today's event. Have a fantastic rest of your day.